my story. So, my story is, well, about stories. I love stories. I love to read them. I love to hear them. I love to tell them. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to tell my stories to you. I think stories are very important in our lives. And sometimes in my life, I feel like I've lived 10 lives in one lifetime. One of those led to my book, Port Wainimi Beach Walks. I published this in 2008. I had 500 copies. I have only a few left. And it led to such wonderful things. I got interviewed on TV and radio and newspaper. I still get to get paid for doing walks on the beach with groups of people. And it was so exciting that I decided to publish another book. So it's in the process. The name of that book is Decades. I don't have the cover, but it's going to look something like this one, of brown leather and gold lettering, something like a family Bible, because it's the story of my family. It begins with my great-grandfather when he immigrated to the United States in the late 1800s. And it goes into some of the other stories in my family. I think all of us have stories, and I think we learn from stories. I think what I want in this book is for people to read the stories of my family and relate them to the stories of their own families and get to understand themselves and the others in their lives better. So I put in a few of the darker side of the stories. We all have those too, even if we don't talk about them much. My grandmother's numbers business. Before we had legal lotteries, we had illegal numbers games. And so my grandmother had a numbers business. I talk about my father waking up on a mortuary slab, which terrified the mortician as well as himself. And I talk about my grandson's prison experiences. But most of the stories in the book are ones about me and my own 10 lives. There's a chapter early in the book titled A New Daddy. My parents were divorced when I was 8 months old, and so I never really knew my birth father. When I was about 3 years old, my mother was dating a man by the name of Bob Horn. His sister Ann bought dresses alike for she and I, of white with red and blue trim. Her niece Jessica taught me to twirl a toy baton and put tassels on it. And we marched in 4th of July parade. I won best in my age category. I might have been the only one in my age category. The MC held a microphone in front of me and asked my name, Sondra Lee. What's your other name? Sondra Lee. What's your last name? Sondra Lee. What's your daddy's name? Bob Horn. My mother and Bob Horn were married shortly after that, and they lived together for 40 years until my mother passed away. And my name was always Sondra Lee Horn from then on. My stepfather never legally adopted me, but I always used that name. And my first driver's license says Sondra Lee Horn, and my high school diploma says Sondra Lee Horn. I didn't change that name until I got married and took my husband's name. Which brings me to a second chapter in there. That chapter was called Trailer Trash. So I think that maybe I'm running out of time here. So I'm going to have to tell you about some of the other chapters, like Trailer Trash and the scariest thing I ever did, another time. TalkToastmasters.
I know. buy your book.
We're doing the agenda, let's put her as